Hello, everybody. Eric Smith here with just a mini rant video that hopefully I'll remember to throw up on Tuesday. And the reason for this is because I just recorded my Reading Remembrances video, and that will be going up hopefully tomorrow. I recorded that, and there was a tiny bit of a rant in there, and I said that I would expand on that in my weekly wrap-up video. And then I said, please go back and watch the weekly wrap-up that posted the Sunday previous to this Reading Remembrances video. And then I recorded my weekly wrap-up video, and I forgot all about doing the rant. Because I was talking about so much other stuff, I forgot about the rant. So I'm doing this tiny mini video to rant, and then this will have gone up. And if you watch the Reading Remembrances, when it tells you to go back to watch on Sunday, the rant there's no rant there. It's in this video. I'll have to add notes in the descriptions and things so people don't get confused or anything. But anyway, here's the thing. Here's my rant. And I don't know how new this annoying thing is, but I will say, let me lean out of frame here and grab this book. What brought this up in the Reading Remembrances is that, spoilers for that video, one of the books I read was The Rising, Selected Scenes from the End of the World by Brian Keene, a short story collection of stories that take place in the world of The Rising by Brian Keene. And I bought this hardcover limited edition because it was said, this is how I remember it, back in 2008, it was said that this would be the only edition of this book, or 2007, seems to be the copyright. And so I bought the hardback. And then a paperback came out. Now, to be fair, again, this is all my recollection, and I may be mixing some of this up with Earthworm God's Selected Scenes from the End of the World. But, to be fair, the paperback version that came out was missing a couple, one or two or three stories from the hardback version, and there were new stories added to it. So technically, this is the only edition of this book, but then a different version of the book came out. And in the Reading Remembrances, I said I can understand from writers and publishers' standpoint because they're trying to make a living, but as a reader and bit of a collector, I find it annoying. I did not buy a paperback copy. I don't think I have a paperback copy of it. And I don't plan on it, just for a couple of stories. I was annoyed by that. But just recently, this has become, in my opinion, a very, very annoying thing. I've talked about this before, not long ago. Jonathan Mayberry had a novel come out called Necrotech. And being the type of supportive person that I try to be, I pre-ordered the hardback copy and got it. Got the hardback copy. No problems there. But then, when the paperback edition was announced, there was special material in it. There was a new short story. There were illustrations. There was some other stuff. And I'm like, what the hell? I bought the hardback to help boost sales for Jonathan Mayberry, to show that there was interest in this, and now I feel like I'm being punished because whoever waited and bought the paperback is getting this extra material. What's up with that? And now, so this is Paul Scheer. For anybody who is familiar with Paul Scheer, the actor and comedian, I pre-ordered and bought his autobiography, memoir, whatever you want to call it. And again, the paperback's coming out, it has additional material. What the hell? And now I just saw that the Stephen King short story collection, You Like It Darker, the paperback is coming out, and it has a bonus story. At this point, I don't know that I'm going to buy hardbacks anymore. Why would I pay extra money? Why would I pay $30 for a hardback when I can just wait a year and pay $20, $15 to $20 for the paperback, and at worst, I'm getting the same thing, just cheaper, but chances are I'm going to get extra material for just waiting. It annoys me. Obviously, I just find it annoying. Trying to be supportive of authors. Now, Stephen King doesn't need my support. Jonathan Mayberry, he's a best-selling author. He really doesn't necessarily need my support either. But someone like Paul Scheer, it's his first book. You know, why not be supportive? And you know, it's the same way I felt about comic books. Buying comics as they came out every month showed the publishers that there were people interested in this comic, and so hopefully if it was going to be an ongoing series, meant to be, it would keep going. But at this point, especially the way publishing and everything with comics is going, I'll just wait for the trade paperback. You know what? I don't care what they see in their sales numbers at this point. Because apparently publishers in every field are just pissing me off. So, yeah, this is my rant. This is what I was supposed to talk about in my weekly wrap-up, but it completely slipped my mind. But since I had mentioned in another video that I was going to talk about it, I thought I would do this because I didn't feel like re-recording either one of those videos, the reading remembrances or the weekly wrap-up. So you have this. But what do you think of this? There's probably a bunch of readers that don't care one way or the other, but as both a reader and collector and someone who wants to support authors, you know, I want everybody, generally speaking, as long as you're not hurting anybody, I want everybody to be successful in what's making them happy. You know, I want authors to be successful. I want them to make a living, and if it's, you know, if I'm a big fan, obviously I'm going to want them to make a living so they keep writing stuff that I want to read. But I'm annoyed that I've spent my money and someone who's was just waited and is spending less money is getting more. Now, some people might argue the hardback is better. That's just personal opinion. I know some people that hate hardbacks. Some people don't like paperbacks. They want hardbacks all for everything. But yeah, at this point, there's probably, I don't know that I'm gonna pick up hardbacks anymore, with some exceptions. Some things I don't think are gonna come out in paperback with extra material. But if I start seeing that happen with some of these other books, then yeah, I will just give up on hardbacks completely because it's ridiculous, in my opinion, to pay that extra money and get less. So what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have any comments or questions, well, I guess it's all about comments or questions or corrections. Please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers, but I didn't talk about anything specific enough to be spoiled, I suppose. But if for some crazy reason you want to talk spoilers, just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here on my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff. And if you'd care to follow me on other social media, I'll have links for my Instagram and Blue Sky in the description below. And that's all I have for you in this weird ranty video. So until next time, read more books.